So welcome to the Impact interview. Today we have the honor and privilege of sitting down with Mr. Menno Weustink, Vice President of New Energy Asia Pacific region at Woodside Energy. So Menno, thank you so much for joining us today.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
To begin our conversation today, could you please help us briefly walk through your career journey and share with us one thing that really gave you the greatest sense of accomplishment in your role of the Senior Vice President of New Energy at Woodside?
Yeah, I started my career almost 30 years ago now. It's a
Yes.
little while in the traditional oil and gas business, moving from the Netherlands, where I was born, to Brazil, south of France, West Africa, and then 12 years ago I started with Woodside Energy. And had different roles in Woodside, and then the last few years I started, as you mentioned, in the new energy group, new energy division, looking after the Asia Pacific region. I think for me the benefit or the pleasure or the greatest thing I do every morning is being on the forefront of the whole energy transition. It's great to be able to offer customers different solutions, lower carbon solutions, to help them with their decarbonization targets and goals. So yeah, being actually able to make a change in that forefront of the energy transition is what I think is the best part of my job.
Yes. So as we all know, Woodside Energy as a global energy company has actually have a strong, ambition to provide low carbon, low cost green hydrogen to the world that it needs. So beyond its traditional focus on oil and gas, what opportunities was pursuing currently in the realm of new energy?
Yeah, you're 100% right. Woodside has been for the last decade supplying energy to domestic users, industrial users, and now we are focusing more on our new energy opportunities and lower carbon solutions, which means your hydrogen, your ammonia, and your carbon capture and storage opportunities. And two of the opportunities we're having in Australia are in close to Perth, close to our headquarters. One is called H2 Perth, which is a commercial scale hydrogen export facility. It's located in the Rockingham industrial zone, and it is focusing on both domestic and export of hydrogen.
Yes.
Very close to it is what we call the refueler at H2 Perth,
Yes.
which is a small hydrogen production, storage, and refueling station that is very much focused on supporting the heavy-duty industry or sector.
Yes.
It's hydrogen made from electrolysis, so renewable based hydrogen for that refueler.
Yeah, so speaking of the really featured hydrogen refueler at H2 Perth that you
Yes.
just mentioned, a self-contained hydrogen production, storage, and refilling station that Woodside is pursuing to develop.
Yep.
So could you please share with us some updates or proceedings of this really exciting project? And how do you envision the role of H2 Perth in driving the local hydrogen economy in Western Australia?
Yeah, the hydrogen refueler, as you mentioned, is in H2 Perth in the Rockingham industrial zone. As I mentioned, this is targeting the heavy-duty sector. Last year we had our FID, which is our first hydrogen project that took FID. So it is a great step for us last year. This year we have already awarded what we call the major services contract, which is the contract for executing the construction on site, the commissioning and startup, with the aim of starting up the facility next year. So yeah, it's been moving along very well so far, and we're looking forward to the startup next year. You mentioned H2 Perth itself as well.
Yes.
So H2 Perth, we signed a heads of agreement with a customer, Keppel Data Centers, last year for hydrogen supply to Singapore, a potential customer. We're working very hard on the H2 Perth concept to bring that concept together for that export from the Rockingham industrial zone. So yeah, it's a great combination of both the refueler station and the export product project together. So yeah, we're really excited about these two projects and being in the forefront of the hydrogen economy here in West Australia.
Yeah, it's such an exciting story that we want to know, and we look forward to witnessing the continued impact of this project in the near future.
Yes.
So, as we all know, collaborations are an indispensable part of establishment of
Yes.
global hydrogen supply chain. So, how important it is for the energy suppliers such as Woodside to collaborate with its customers and others to establish the green hydrogen economy in the region and globally?
Yeah, of course, as an energy producer, we're just one little puzzle piece in the whole value chain, right?
Yes.
And we need to collaborate, as you say, with different partners across that value chain. So, as I mentioned, one of the partners or one of the end users of the product is a couple data centers, for instance, as a potential customer. And we're working hard with them on what their needs are, and they are talking about the hydrogen, as I mentioned. On the other hand, we're also working with the shipping and transport companies. So we're working together with companies like Hyundai Glovis, KSOE, MOL, KHI, different companies where we work together in order to try to establish the most cost-effective shipping solution, and in our case for the liquid hydrogen shipping. So yeah, collaboration is very important. It's important for us to help our customers, but also our suppliers, deal with their ambitions for the decarbonization of their activities.
Yeah, that's true. As we all know, Australia has abundant renewable resources, making it an ideal place for productive low carbon, low cost
Yeah.
green hydrogen. So, what factor do you think will facilitate Australia's pathway of becoming a global leader in green hydrogen? And how is Woodside's strategy in this field, especially green hydrogen, leveraging these advantages?
So I think from a cost perspective, there's, in my opinion, three big factors that drive the cost or can help with the
Yes.
cost challenge, right? First of all, it's geographies. Being located in strategic industrial zones like we are in H2 Perth, being close to jetties, being close to existing water infrastructure, being close to transmission lines, being close to potential gas imports. It's really important to pick the right location in order to leverage those synergies and bring the cost down from your location perspective. So I think that's the first element which is really important. The other element which is important is the technology. It's a nascent industry. A lot of companies and suppliers are still optimizing, designing, and engineering their solutions. And you see slowly that the technology getting better, getting better. So that is another important element on how we can get the costs to a good point. And then the last item, I think, is the collaboration with regulators, understanding what incentives are there, understanding what regulatory requirements there are. So I think those three elements of geographies, technology, and collaboration around the regulation and subsidies are very important to bring the costs down.
Yes. So looking ahead, could you please share with us what are the main milestones and goals that Woodside has set for its ambition energy goals? And how do you envision the role of Woodside in shaping Australia and APAC's low carbon economy?
Yeah, so the industry that we are seeing is basically focusing on different sectors of the industry. So when we look at the heavy trucking sector, as I said, we're really focusing on hydrogen for that sector, and there becomes hydrogen becomes a replacement of the diesel, let's say,
Yes.
right? The other area or the other sector, of course, is the power sector that we're working in. And the power sector, very quickly people talk around, the replacement or the injection of ammonia with coal-fired power plants, and putting ammonia into the power sector is an important element. Other sectors that we are focusing on is the shipping and marine and aviation fuels, right? There's a lot of talk around how we can replace the existing fuels in that marine and aviation space with lower carbon solutions. And then lastly, I would say is the industrial and chemical processes. There has been over the last hundreds of years probably fossil fuel-based hydrogen and fossil fuel-based ammonia. Now we need to look at how we do that with either fossil fuel-based with carbon solutions, with this carbon sequestration and storage, or where you, as you say, where we look at electrolytic options for ammonia and hydrogen.
Thank you, Menno, for all of your sharing, and especially the progress that Woodside is making in the realm of new energy, and your dedication towards the sustainability and innovation in new energy and sustainable energy are truly Man, Phil. Thank you so much for
It was
joining
my
us today.
pleasure. It was my pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you.